Hey now, we are at Joe McCarthy. Not a real common Hall of Famer in sense of popularity, but arguably probably one of the greatest managers ever to live. Now, to me, he's like the Phil Jackson of managers in the sense that a lot of people argue that he just like got lucky and got on to managing some great teams. But the amazing thing is, you can say whatever you want about Joe McCarthy. The amazing thing to me, and it's like 15, 16-year managing career, he never once lost. Sorry, he never once had a losing season. I mean, that's incredible. Incredible. Never had a losing season. So at the end of the century, they rated him the second greatest manager of all time, slightly behind Casey Stengel. Overall, his teams are, he won 2,125 games compared to losing 1,333. He was the manager of the probably best known for manager of the excuse me, the Yankees during the 1930s and early 40s. During that time, he won a total of 7 World Series. You win 7 World Series, guess what? You're going to get in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's just no, he lost one as well, but he won 7 World Series. That gets you into the Hall of Fame every time. He was known for being a little bit of a lush, unfortunately, but he did get into the Hall of Fame, I believe, in 1957. Yeah, 1957, and he lived to the ripe old age of 1978. So he lived well into his 79, 80 years old. So because of that, he was a great signer, and his autograph not rare at all. So when you're looking for his autograph, it's out there, 10, $20. He's one of those I just want to skip over, and I'm losing my feed here, but we'll try and look at the autograph analysis. Mr. Joe McCarthy. So let me share my screen. Go to the PSA. Now, this is a signed check, and we're going to talk about these in a second. I remember when I first started collecting deceased Hall of Famers, signed checks of Joe McCarthy were very rare. They were going for over $1,000. All of a sudden, for whatever reason, a lot of them got out, and now they're worth about $200. So again, it's supply and demand. The supply just went up. There's a lot of check collectors out there. When the supply goes up, demand goes down, prices fall down. But again, Joe McCarthy, typical autograph. It's a two-stroke J. It goes around right here. It starts here with like a dash across, goes around here, a capital E like that. It's usually pretty flat. His signature, as you could see right here. The C not attached like it is here. Usually his autograph, more commonly, you're going to see is you're here excuse me, between the C as well. And again, we talked about this two-stroke J right here. Again, you can see this right here. The C is separate right here. But here, like I said, McCarthy is all one single stroke. Again, a two-stroke J. Again, a nice even plane. According to Ron, there's no shakiness in his autograph whatsoever. You can see that sort of like dash, that line going through the through the Y. Very, very common of his. Again, this is a very vintage autograph, 1941. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because of the fact you're not going to see these autographs for sale very often. Again, another vintage 1938 autograph. His autograph didn't change that much. You could see in the sense that the breaks changed between, there were more breaks between the C and the A. But again, the Joe was a one-stroke. Well, I think it's a one-stroke J still. But again, this was not common of the Joe McCarthy autographs. This is a much more common Joe McCarthy, where I say you can see the M connects to the C up here. We have the breaks. And again, the McCarthy, again, you see how it's a nice even plane right here, two-stroke J, that dash through the Y. Again, that's commonly what you're going to see with Joe McCarthy. I would say signed baseballs are fairly rare, not because he didn't sign them, just because I don't know how many people during the time period when he was alive in the 70s were giving him single signed baseballs. So again, like this, you could see the M connected to the C again, the little line right here, line right here. Again, I don't think this baseball is bad by any stretch of the imagination. You're just going to pay closer to like $1,000 for Joe McCarthy signed baseball, so be careful. Again, this is what you're going to see more common: the two-stroke J, the O, the capital E, the M into the C with the dash. Again, see right here, nice flat plane with the dash through the Y. So like I said, old 1929. But again, by now, hopefully you're getting a feel of what a Joe McCarthy autograph looks like. And again, yeah, you see the M connecting to the C up here with the dash. Again, the Y right here, the two-stroke J right here. Again, not a very rare autograph at all. Again, 1948. But again, it's pretty much the same autograph with the exception of the M. You can see it's trying to connect to the C right here. It didn't exactly make it. And the C broken off right here. Again, you're going to see some breaks. But because his autograph is so common, it doesn't make a terribly rare thing, goodness. So again, let's talk to what a common forgery according to what Ron's book is. And it's that this picture right here. This is a little closer of it. And again, it looks very weird in the sense that this one, to me, it's him signing up at the steps, looking right at the camera. You can see what's odd about this to me is the fact that usually there's a break between the C and the C right here. And we don't have that break. And this is a later in life autograph. Let's say there's some shakiness to it. And again, what Ron says to look for is these are signed in not a black felt tip. Although this looks like a black felt tip pen to me. And he said a lot of these are signed in black Sharpies. Again, right here, you can see better this signing on the step as well. Now, let's take a look at this one. I mean, I don't think this is fake, especially because the fact that it's personalized. Again, it's pretty pixelated, this picture, but you can see that clear break between the C and the C right here, which is what you want to see. Just looking at more. Again, this is a nice, again, version right here of Joe. I'm not saying, when I say nice, it's pixelated very nicely. I'm not saying it's necessarily good. Although to me, honestly, it looks good. Uh, it's got some kind of cert right here. I was trying to go through these photos right here where I could find this photo. This one does look odd to me. I'm not going to lie. It's very tough to see. It could be good because it's personalized. Maybe it's just the fact, like I said, it's a black felt tip marker. The autograph looks a little more compact than I would like. I just kept pulling up Joe McCarthy autographs to see if I could find one for sure that I said, well, no good. Now this one has a Beckett on it. I can see right here. But again, looking at it, maybe again, it looks like a black Sharpie. It looks a little sloppy to me right here in the sense that you see the Joe is not real smooth. It looks pretty shaky. The C up here is much higher than I'd like to see with this as well. Same thing with the T right here. It looks very shaky. Again, it's $150. It has a Beckett cert, but I would just be careful of this. I think this is this A right here also is not smooth. You can see how it's sort of the A kind of comes down and back in. If this is real, it's a very late in life signature. But again, his autograph is so common that it's not worth buying one you're not 100% comfortable with. So, I mean, again, here's one more. I pulled so many of these that I thought were a little weird. Again, you see right here how the E, see it's not a flat E right there. Again, I know this one has a PSA cert. The C, this is a little bit high. Usually by the time he was signing these autographs, there was no break between the C's. The McCarthy well, there's a break between this high C, but not the C into the McCarthy right here. So again, the T is not crossed. He was usually really good about crossing that T right here. He crossed the H instead right here. So $350. Again, that's just a lot for a Joe McCarthy autograph. So again, I just went on Joe McCarthy and see what he sold. And like, again, you could buy good autographs from him for $25, $30. So just buy one you like, buy a good one. Don't buy that photo, that pose. And again, last thing with the check, this one sold a couple of months ago. Again, this sold once for $1,500. They're down to $119. And again, these are good. I don't know if I can zoom in on this because it's upside down. Let's see if we can. It's taking me too long. Sorry, Joe. It just ain't worth it. It's not worth it to go that much time for Joe McCarthy. 9 minutes on Joe McCarthy. A $20, $30 autograph. It really isn't that rare. But you know what is rare? The next autograph we're going to do, and that's Tommy McCarthy. So as always, keep collecting.